What is up, sickos? Colby is out. Till is in versus Woodley, UFC 228. Romero versus Costa, UFC 230. Dana White Contender Series recap, and much, much more. Everybody, I'm Dan from Oregon, live from the studios here in the 541. Let's look into this shit.
It shouldn't be such a big deal. History, science, education, energy, everything has always been controlled by the government since day one. CIA!
Oh, look at the time.
You figure it out. You try to figure it out.
It
No,
seems like
because when
people
they
would.
look into it, it's common sense. When you look into it,
Wow. So yesterday, we got some bombshell of some news. UFC 228 has been hard-pressed to find itself a main event. Shevchenko versus Montano is currently booked as the co-main event. And yesterday, powerful Ariel Helwani drops a welterweight title fight between champion Tyron Woodley and Darren Till is very close to being finalized for UFC 228 on September 8th, according to multiple sources. Powerful Ariel here. About 2:39. Not long thereafter, UFC drops it, gives us our poster here. Tickets on sale in just 2 days. I guess that's why this went down this way. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Man, what is going on here? Your 2018 champion, Colby Covington, looks like he is going to be stripped of his title, and they are going to let the 2017 champion face Darren Till. What the fuck is going on here? This is as if, what if the UFC gave Conor McGregor a 155-pound title fight, and Khabib wasn't in it, and then they just stripped fucking Khabib? That's essentially what they're doing here with the titles. Sure, you could fucking say, oh, it's interim, it's non-interim. I like the way that Max Holloway goes about it. Actually, I'm 2018 champion. You're 2017 champion, bro. You're living in the past here. But Colby says, I'm not ready. I've got a slight injury. And Till is apparently ready. UFC is hard-pressed to fill their pay-per-views. They're going out and offering not the interim champion, the champion fight. The champion's like, what the fuck is going on here? And he has to take the fight because he hasn't fought in fucking a year. I bet you they came to Woodley and they said, Woodley, you don't take this fight, we're going to fucking strip you. And we'll make Colby the true champ versus whoever the fuck we want coming up next. Don't fuck around with us right now, Woodley. Colby's already doing that enough. Tyron's being paid. Not really. Khabib is champ. Kona is proper cup. Paper cup. I gotcha. Everyone in the chat, I think it should be Colby fighting Woodley. Colby is annoying, but I feel he has proved himself. Man, yeah, I don't know. You could almost switch this around and say, this fight here, your 2017 champion versus your undefeated fighter in Till, who quote-unquote won versus Wonderboy. This is for the actual chance at the 2018 champ, Colby Covington. So whoever wins this gets a shot at Colby. Honestly, this fight should be at 175 pounds, and the winner wouldn't even be in the same division as Colby, but the UFC isn't smart enough to do that. They want to take a man who basically went blind in his last weight cut, was 4.5 pounds away from getting to championship weight. That's what's going on here, man. Let's make Colby 165s. Let's make that. And let's make Woodley versus Till 175s. And then I ain't got a goddamn problem with any of it. You already have your two champions for each fucking weight class. You could put them in a fucking title fight right now. You're hard pressed for champs as it is, so why not do the damn thing? Joe Daddy, check your DMs. I will do that. Joe from Houston. So, what the fuck, man? UFC. They're giving us the title fights. They're giving us titles on these pay-per-views, which is what we want. Just not the fights that we want. What the fuck is wrong with WME? A lot to discuss on that note, but let's move on. Woodley versus Darren Till. RIP posted this on Twitter. We got Brian as the guide dog. Son of a bitch. Give us some music.
Nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening.
It's over. A lot of people in the audience look pissed.
That pretty much sums up the announcement of Till versus Woodley here.
Nothing's happening.
What up, Steve?
It's over.
Thanks for jumping in the
A lot of people in
chat.
the audience look pissed.
Oh, man. I mean, we all knew that there was going to be madness that happened when RDA got booked versus Covington just fucking 1 month before supposedly Woodley was going to be back. But this is just turning into a fucking shit show over here. In other news, Damon Martin on Twitter, Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa, or Borshina, or Eraser, set for UFC 230 in New York. I love this fight. UFC 230 is quickly turning into a welterweight tournament, it sure enough seems. You got Branch versus Jacare, Romero versus Costa, rumors of Weidman versus Rockhold, all types of middleweight action going on here. Pretty much, who's going to come out most impressive? We shall see. But then powerful Frank Bavon here in the chat, Romero hasn't agreed to anything. And yes, Ariel Helwani jumps out on Twitter. Let's go find his tweet. Ariel Helwani. Nice and prepped and ready for you guys today. Still rocking that Josh Barnett thing. That's awesome. Okay, so... what do we got here? Ariel. Here's the latest on Romero versus Costa. Romero had surgery on a broken orbital bone less than a month ago, and I'm told he hasn't agreed to the fight or any fight at this time. More coming to ESPN. That's a bad fight for Romero. Romero getting a title shot over missing weight twice. Actually, basically 2 title shots. Fucking ridiculous. I thought he was moving to 205 pounds. I thought we were going to get excited for a Gustafsson versus Romero matchup. That shit would be fire all day long. What the fuck is going on in MMA right now? It's hard to tell. Romero versus Costa is rumored. So, the UFC is using their strong arm tactics. And fucking, who knows what the fuck is going on. Joe Daddy wants to jump on. I think we can make that happen. Did you get on via Skype last time, Joe? I believe you did. Let's get that shit fired up. Joe Daddy is Joe from Houston, BLT. All right. Let's see what I can do here, Joe. In other news, James Krause is set to face Warlley Alves at 170 pounds. And that fight is coming to your ass in Lincoln, Nebraska. So on the same Gaethje and Vic card, we're going to have a 170 matchup. And that's a 165er if I've ever seen one. And James Krause as well. So we'll see what the fuck goes down there. Brady and Darth got kicked out of community for being cucks. Brady left, Stewie. Brady never got kicked out of nothing. Just so you know, my friend. Now, Darth, that's a whole nother story that I don't really know. Yeah, there you go. Spit the truth, BLT. Okay. What's going on here? Let's give Joe from Houston a call. Joe from HTown. See if we can get him in on the chat. Joe!
What's up?
What's happening? Here, let me get you up onto the screen.
I don't see you.
Yeah, you won't be able to see me, but I can do some nonsense. Hold on a second. Alright, I have to make that small. To make that over there.
No, for your show on YouTube. What am I searching here?
Hold on, I will be able to share my screen with you. And
I was gonna watch it on my TV.
That might work with you too. What are we doing? That one's good. Why not? Yeah, just make sure you got it on mute, and that should work.
Yeah.
So what's happening, Joe? While I get you onto the screen and everything, why don't you give us your take?
On what? I got shit to say. On what?
Let's start with Colby getting passed over, and Till versus Woodley is going to be your 228 main event.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, I'm 4 hours away. I'm not going. I don't think I'm going right now. I was kind of disappointed. You know, Colby talking all that crap, and Tyron said it well, man. He's talking all that crap, and then he's ready to get the fight, and he don't want to take it. But that's the way the shit works nowadays with the UFC, man. You know, if you ain't ready, they'll pass you by, and it's just silly, man. You know, the scramble to find a main event for a card that tickets go on sale today, I believe. So that's kind of crazy, man. That they're scrambling to get a main event. Please, somebody take a fight. Please, somebody fight in Dallas for us. Please, tickets go on sale today, and they're probably in the jet right now, headed to Dallas to do some media. So that's pretty crazy, man. What do you think?
It's a case of the UFC just needing titles to go on these pay-per-views. They got pay-per-views that they need to fill. We're getting fucking bullshit main events left and right. They made Woodley, or I'm sorry, RDA versus Colby. That was a title fight that we really didn't need to see. Colby, I guess Woodley was coming up on a year not defending, so it kind of makes sense. But as soon as Colby gets a little bit of, what do you want to call it, leverage against the UFC, gets a nice payday, and starts saying, like, oh, no, now that you're going to give me pay-per-view points, I want to be on a nice pay-per-view card, and UFC ain't having it. They're saying, fuck that shit. 228 needs a pay-per-view, and then they just ran over to Till, similar to what they did with Habib and the Eddie Alvarez situation way back in the day. But Colby didn't take the bait. He didn't buy into just jumping in on short notice, and so here we go. We got the champ, not versus the interim champ, versus the guy who might die making 170 pounds. So it's terrible, man.
Man, I was hoping for a miracle to get GSP versus Woodley. That would have been awesome. But GSP is too busy looking for aliens or whatever he's doing, or trying to get clean, man. So I don't know, man. Even Usman, I would have liked to see Usman get that shot. You know, I mean, Till missed weight. I mean, who is clamoring to see Woodley versus Till? You know, the Covington fight was a fight to make, and they should have just waited, man. You know, I mean, it's just silly, man.
I totally agree. It's like they got this undefeated fighter here. They think, I don't know, WME thinks that this is boxing and that because you're undefeated, that makes you the biggest star in the fucking game. He barely beats Wonder Boy, and we're potentially going to get Woodley versus Wonder Boy 3. Like that's worst case scenario. We just fucking completely kill off a contender and get a boring ass fucking fight.
Yeah, I'm trying to read your chat as you're talking, and somebody says hot as hell. It's not that hot today. Man, Arizona, I heard it was 120.
Oh,
But,
shit. It's supposed to be
yeah,
like, I think, 96 here in Oregon, so that's pretty damn hot.
yeah, it's about 96, 98 here, and you know, in the morning it's not too hot. It's maybe 90. So I'm done for the day. So, but anyways, getting back to this man, it's just weird to see the UFC operate this way. You know, we're so used to fights being announced 3 or 4 months in advance and plenty of time the fans gain some interest, and now there's just trying to, you know, fit something in the peg hole and see if it'll go in, and it's just not working right now, man. There is no buzz for this fight in Dallas. You know, I've been to Dallas every time they come to town. I'm there, and I think I'm gonna have to miss this one.
Oh, shit. God damn it, man. That's crazy, too, because there's the flyweight women's championship. Shevchenko is going to be back on that card. And as it shapes up right now, 228 does look better than 227. 227 is looking fucking pitiful compared to what they said it was going to be, man. You know, you got Dana White and Ariel Helwani out there rumoring that there was going to be GSP versus Nate Diaz, Gustafsson versus Luke Rockhold, a title fight or two, and you look up and down the card, and someone mentioned it on Twitter that the highest weight fight on UFC 227 is a featherweight matchup. These idiots are not going to be smart enough to throw the small cage in there too, so we get more finishes. And this is what they say, basically a makeshift WEC card is what they're bringing down to 227.
They better have the blue cage.
Hell yeah, dude. You want to go throwback? Get rid of the ugly gold that you did. Bring back the small WEC cage. Oh, that would be great.
That gold can't sell. It's terrible.
Man, I forget what podcast. I think I was listening to Co-Main Event, Joe, and they're talking about how WME is just coming in to make the cash grab. They paid their $4.2 billion, and over the next few years, that is all we're going to see. We're going to see fights made for money. There's no sustainability in the the management when they look at the UFC. It's just, how can we make money? How can we make money now? When you compare that to the contrast of the Fertitas, where the Fertitas really saw themselves as kind of stewards of MMA. They were going to make the sport big, make it grow into, you know, the next NFL or whatever. And you fucking look at it, dude. I'm sad. I'm scared for the UFC right now. A lot of people aren't. There's a lot of money getting tossed around with TV deals and stupid shit like that. But look at the fucking attendance. Look at the views on TV. It's not trending in the right direction.
Yeah, somebody was making fun of me on the chat about my tears. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my eyes, man. I just got out the 98-degree heat and I'm in some AC right now. I'm not sure. And somebody asked where I'm from. I live on the horse track, man, on the northwest side of town. So I live like 2 miles away from the horse track. But yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. You know, they're okay. According to them, they say that their numbers are great. They've got all kinds of revenue that they've never had before with the TV deal, you know, with the Reebok deal, with all these things that are still on the canvas. I mean, they're getting money from all these other countries for the TV deals, which, you know, none goes to the fighters, all goes into their pocket. So they say they're okay despite the terrible pay-per-view numbers. They say they're okay. So according to them, there's nothing to worry about. So whatever, you know, keep on trucking out these terrible fight cards and keep seeing the attendance go down, keep seeing the pay-per-view go down, and we'll see if you're how you're looking in the pocket, a couple years down the road.
On one hand, business has never been better, but on the other hand, they don't have money to throw around to make sure that these guys get their show and win purse. What was that Dana White quote from like fucking a month ago or some shit? We ain't got money for that.
Right? They're poor. They're poor now.
Jesus. Man, yeah.
That was the thing with Ortega that really pissed me off. That this guy's got to beg and go into the media to get some kind of money. I mean, that is just terrible, man. What kind of business is that? Then to come a week later, oh, Dana's not mad anymore, so okay, I'll pay him. What kind of business is that to run? What kind of example is that to show for the people coming up in the sport that want to get into that role, that want to go for a belt, that want to make the money, that want to headline the cards and build the brand? What kind of message is that to those guys that aren't there yet? That, you know what, man, if I don't make a training camp, if I don't make a fight, Dana's not going to pay me. That's some bullshit.
It's crazy bullshit. And you're talking about essentially one in their up-and-coming stars. Look who they're pushing these days. It's everyone who's got a 0 next to their name. I mean, you go back in time, it was Cody Garbrandt there for a minute, then it was Francis Ngannou, and now it's Darren Till, Brian Ortega. Anybody with a 0 in the losses, they're all about that shit. But like you said, don't step in on short notice and fight, the next upcoming star if you listen to Kevin Iole and Jeremy Stevens and you're not getting paid, you're fucked. And let me throw a stat at you, Joe Daddy. UFC fighters on the Hamburg card who accepted short notice fights. There was 3 of them. You want to guess? You want to guess the record of those 3 guys?
0 and 0.
It was 1 split decision win and 2 losses is what they got.
I thought you meant their record inside the UFC. I'm sorry.
My bad.
You know what? I didn't even really pay attention to it. I saw the main event. That was it.
It was a great main event. Who else? On the Fight Pass prelims, Manny Bermudez getting that triangle finish. That was nice and crafty. Definitely go back and check that one out. And then Zawada, the fight of the night that happened with Danny Roberts. That fight was basically worth watching too. And then some 205 prospect named Stozic or something like that. He had an okay performance. But you did not miss much besides, a record of decisions in a row with 9?
Well, the one stat I look at, and I got to give him a shout out, Jedi Goodman. He puts out, every card he puts out how much these guys are getting paid in the Reebok deal. He puts out what the record is in the UFC. Yeah. And I always look at that, and I always look at the to the far right and to see their payout on the Reebok deal. And you see a bunch of 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. That's how you can tell how a card's probably going to suck. That you never heard these guys, new guys coming into UFC for their first fight, second fight. To me, that's how you can tell. That's how I can tell. You know what? I'll check that card out, or you know what? I can miss that card. I mean, it's just crazy how many guys on that card in Germany were fighting for the first time. UFC debut. I'm not interested, man. No, thank you. Put that on Fight Pass.
It would have been so much better on Fight Pass with that shitty pacing that they ended up giving us. And, that kind of dovetails into a conversation I've had in the past, which was Mike Bond, who's also very good on the stats. He put out that stat that, ever since the early morning weigh-ins, that so many more fighters have missed weight, basically double. And my argument is it's not correlated to that whatsoever. There's basically 0 correlation because you're talking about totally different guys every time. And I came to the conclusion that I think it's inexperience. I think it's exactly what you're saying. It's everyone making 3.5K all over these fucking cards. We're getting the lowest quality product that we could possibly get. And therefore, when you have low-quality guys, maybe they're not as professional, and they start to miss weight and shit like that. Because, I mean, when's the last time fucking Nick Diaz missed weight or pulled out of a fight, or Shogun Hua. When's the last time he missed weight, pulled out of a fight? You know, it's just a different mentality from the old school guys and the new school ones, I think.
Well, you're seeing guys take fights just to take fights. Like they get the call, hey, can you make weight in 2 weeks? What do you think they're going to say? Hell yeah, I can make weight, and then they don't. So that's the problem when you have so many fighters taking late notice fight. You know, saying they can make a weight that there's no way they can make. I mean, that's the problem there.
Oh yeah, and I guess that's not even just the young guys too, because look at Max Holloway. They called Max on short notice, come in and face Habib. At the time, I heard the rumor that Max was weighing like 188 pounds, 185 pounds or some shit. And he's got to make it down to 155 in 5 days. And then Mike Dolce comes out and says that fucking Lockhart was just like protein loading him and not giving him any carbs. Like, that's a whole nother story. But look what we did to Max, man. Like, how in God's green earth, when they were making that Habib versus Max fight, they're just like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do that to one of our champions in Holloway. Let's make it at 165. Let's throw a whole nother belt out there, and let's just get this fight to happen. Because fucking Holloway versus Habib, that would have been fucking fight of the year, probably.
When you talked about Max, I think, too, you know, he said he could make a weight that he probably had no business making. So just to get that payday that he missed earlier in the year, I mean, it's crazy. You know, you're talking about the 165. You know, you're barking up the wrong tree there if you're talking about. I saw you arguing with a couple of guys yesterday on Twitter. I mean, it's just we're preaching to the choir, man. That's long been overdue. I mean, just make it happen. You know, they want to make these stupid interim titles and throw a fight together in Dallas, man. What the hell? You're throwing shit at the wall. Just throw another belt on the wall. Like, what's the difference of a 165 title and an interim title? What is the difference? They're all trash. They're all garbage. They don't mean shit anymore like they used to. What's the difference?
I totally agree. I mean, you could get rid of basically 50% of the dissenters who are against this fight just by saying it's at 175 pounds. Like, this is for the new 175-pound championship. We are pretty worried about fighter safety. Woodley's been saying how much weight he's been cutting for many, many years. The man's getting older. Darren Till barely made 174 last time. Let's do 175s. And boom, I'll shut the fuck up. I'll say, cool. What can I get excited for Colby then? Colby at 165s, who are you going to give him? He already took out RDA, who's high up there. Do you got Kevin Lee? Do you got fucking GSP? What do you got? And boom, and that could be a whole nother conversation. On the 65 note, though, I was making hella headwind on Luke Thomas yesterday. I know you don't like the guy.
Fuck Luke Thomas. Fuck Luke Thomas.
His platform is fucking massive, though, and he's been one of the dudes who was so against it for so long. For months and months and months, I've been working on this shit. And just yesterday, he's like, 165 might not be a bad idea. And boom. So fucking, we're making headwind around here, man. Till is 190 pounds as of this morning, says Frank Bavon.
You know, you brought up your friend Luke Thomas, and I want to bring something up real quick. You know, when Ariel brought his new show to ESPN and they were going to go head-to-head, some people were saying, oh, the Monday Night Wars are coming back. Have you seen the numbers, Dan, of the viewers that MMA fighting has dropped since Luke has taken over? Have you seen the numbers?
Oh, I imagine it's dwindled like crazy.
Ariel probably gets about 1 million views on his show, and Luke less than 10,000.
What can you remember what an average MMA hour with Ariel did?
He would do 1 million views. 1 million. I mean,
on the old school show?
Couldn't gauge it. Really couldn't gauge it, like, physically, whatever, you know, to view it, but that's what I was hearing. He was getting 1 million views every week.
Yeah, I mean, someone was talking about it, how the whole MMA fighting structure was based completely around the show. How they would just write articles and excerpts of all the interviews all freaking week. Someone would just be live tweeting all the action. And now you got Luke out here who does interviews on Monday on the MMA Hour and then replays them all week long on Sirius XM. He'll just take over a whole 20-minute segment and just replay an interview. And I'm sitting here, what the fuck, Luke? Some people watch all of your content and you're just replaying shit. So you're pushing me away. It's bullshit. Yeah. And so, have you caught the Sean Al-Shadi and Mark Raimondi Wednesday live chat?
I have not. I've been trying to get them to get on podcasts. If they get on, put it available via podcast, I'll check it out. But I like those two guys. Sean is really cool. So I like those guys.
Yeah. I like Sean's mentality. I don't like Mark a lot on camera. I can't really pin it down why. But anyhow, Frank Bavon says, he from the UK, Dan. We know the truth in the UK. How is he down to 190? Do you think he's really slimmed and trimmed himself up from missing weight last time? Because he knows that it kind of killed him with the fans, even though the fans used to love him?
Who was that, Till?
Yeah, Darren Till.
Man, did you see that video when he was cutting weight? That was crazy, man. And that's the fucking normal. That's the normal thing these guys go through. Someone was videotaping him or whatever. That's what they go through every damn fight. That's the normal for every guy. Well, I won't say every guy, but 75% of the guys, that's what they go through to cut weight. So stop cutting weight. Good Lord, somebody's gonna die. Damn.
It's gonna suck, man. I'm all with who is it? Andy Foster, man. Do a 10% max cut. We'll get rid of these crazy weight cuts that Max Holloway's doing, Cyborg, Yoel Romero, and there's a few other fighters we could name. Megan Anderson. These people are cutting 20% of their weight mass. It's fucking crazy. So go to the 10% cut, add the divisions before fucking inevitably someone dies. This shit, it's terrible, man. Because look at Whitaker. Whitaker's doing great, moving up a weight class. RDA seemed to have gotten his chin back once he jumped up a weight class. Fucking just so many fighters. Paul Felder was saying how much better he felt at that division. And then he go way back, dude. Conor versus Nate. When they stepped in there at 170, they were just clamoring about fucking how great they felt and all that shit. And I remember Joe Rogan, Ariel, everyone coming out and saying, I hope this gives everyone a lesson in weight cuts. We don't need to keep doing this. We don't need to keep doing this. And then all of a sudden, fucking the story just dies. And everyone stops talking about it.
Yeah, Dana was not enough for that. He had to plan that birthday party for he didn't have time for that, man. But I'm looking at you got James Krause. What's going on with James Krause here?
James Krause is back in action at 170 pounds in Lincoln. And basically, every time there's a fight announcement, I just try and let everybody know. And I don't know. I think he came from RFA or some shit, and I really like James Krause. He's a way better coach, I think, than he is a fighter, to be honest.
Yeah, he got some spotlight when he was on Tough for the little comeback season they had a minute ago, and he's been on a couple of times as a coach. So nice guy. But what about this card in Calgary? We got to bring up that card in Calgary. It's a pretty damn good card right there.
Yeah, hold on. Why don't we do a recap of the Contender Series real quick?
Oh,
did you catch it yesterday?
Sure. I did. It was my first time catching it. Pretty disappointed with the result, man. I'm a big Nick Newell backer, man, and I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of sad, man, for the guy. He's put all his heart and soul in this thing, and to see it go down like that, to see him get beat up like that, it was tough to watch. Maybe that's why I'm crying.
The tear for Nick Newell the day after.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now. Man, yeah, I got to agree. I definitely used to watch him over at World Series of Fighting. Not a lot of people used to watch that promotion. They didn't know about Gaethje before he came over and the fucking wars that he had with like Luis Palomino or whatever. And I remember seeing him get a ton of victories, and it was kind of sad to see him get beat up. I think I only saw 2 rounds of it, and I just stopped watching. But the LFA heavyweight, And Stipe Miocic's training partner, Jeff Hughes, 10-1, takes out Josh Oplet in the very first round following an extended ground and pound with a finishing uppercut. And the Ohioan extends his winning streak to 4. Did you see? What did you think of the heavyweight Jeff Hughes?
Well, Josh, I felt his opponent was terrible. I didn't see anything, to be honest with you, man. This is the first time I was watching the Contender Series, so I was not impressed by anybody. I was impressed by one person last night, and we'll get to it when you bring it up. But I'm not impressed, man. This guy was slow. He was taking shots, and the tip of his nose, and the guy went down.
Fucking A. Man, the heavyweight division is a goddamn disaster, isn't it? It seems like it's always been this way, but you look at it now, it's just more of a graveyard than it's fucking ever been.
Yeah, I was just looking at the shape of these guys at heavyweight, and man, I look like that. I'm gonna get in this cage next. Dan, what do you think?
Well, fuck. Go hit up the Black Beast and get some training in, Joe.
I need to. Did I ever tell you about that? Black Beast was out there playing softball with us. That's the first time I met him.
Oh, nice. At one of the MMA Junkie gatherings?
No. I play softball two nights a week, and he was out there at the park, and I was like, man, I know who you are. And he was like, no, you don't, man. No, you don't. I said, man, I know who you are. What are you doing out here, man? And we just that was like 4 or 5 years ago we met, and we've been cool ever since.
Hell yeah. The Black Beast is awesome. I really hope he stops the fast food in his diet, though. Fucking the Black Beast, if you quit eating fast food, I'll quit eating fast food, brother. I'll do this with you. I'll go through the pain with you. And dude, if he loses a little bit of weight, they send him to Germany. He gets some fucking dead babies, some stem cells in his back or something. We make this damn thing happen. I'll be all about it.
Dude, I've been trying to get him to get on Diamond Dallas page, DDP Yoga. You remember that?
Is that a professional wrestler, Diamond Dallas
page?
Yeah,
the former wrestler. Yeah, he's got like a little program. He's helped with a bunch of wrestlers, and that people about to die, and he got in their life and got them to lose weight and the program. And man, a bunch of wrestlers are doing great. They made a documentary about it. Jake the Snake Roberts, he made a documentary, and there's 2 or 3 wrestlers in there. Give the guy a call, man. It's worth it, man.
Oh shit. Hold on, they're talking about Masvidal in the chat. I thought he beat Maia, to be honest. That was one of the closer fights that people have had with Maia when it wasn't just completely obvious.
I think it was in Dallas. That was in Dallas. Maybe 211, maybe.
Oh man, pretty much. If Jorge is gonna be in a close fight, he's gonna get fucked. That's about the only thing with a Jorge fight. His counterboxing is too good, and he's not afraid to just step back and make it seem like you're landing shots and cover up, and then really crack you. But the fucking judges can't see that shit.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a grappling match. Maia had control over him, and Jorge couldn't do else. What else you got on Dana White? Who's next you want to talk about here?
All right, I only got 3 of the highlights, but I think I know who you might be impressed with, which was that Nigerian who came in there.
That was impressive. I was making fun of George from Colorado, right?
Who?
George from Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was messing with him last night, going back and forth on Twitter, man. He was saying, the first fight was awesome, and I was just making fun of him. That first fight was terrible, but what is his name? Sadiq Yusuf or something like that. That dude was very impressive, man. The striking, and the other guy was impressive too. The first round was the best round all night, and the other guy just kind of faded at the end. But that was really impressive, man. That's James Vick from Dallas, man. That was pretty good.
Yeah, James Vick's posting Vic's picks. I just won thousands tonight because he had picked Munoz and his man Sadiq. Yeah, I'll show this highlight real quick, and then maybe he'll have a highlight of it. I don't think so. After exchanging 10-8 rounds in the first and second, Chase Hooper completely faded Kanan, the Hawaiian. In the third, the 18-year-old Teenage Dream nabs a unanimous decision utilizing proficient grappling and ground and pound and nearly finishing the opponent over here. So this guy, I guess, is coming out of the state of Washington, and he looks good, and supposedly he's going to be getting a development deal. I didn't stick around until the end to hear the results of everything. So what conclusion did they come to, Joe?
Yeah, they gave him a developmental deal. This guy was terrible. The first round, he had no stand up. He was getting his head was going back and forth like this from getting hit. He couldn't, get out the way of one punch. He was getting just wrecked. It was a 10-8 round for the other guy, and then rounds 2 and 3, the other guy ran out of gas. He had nothing in the tank. So if he's going to be good, he should have finished that fight easily. But on the ground, he was okay. Paul Felder was pointing out all his mistakes and mistake after mistake, and I thought the first one was terrible. Like I said, that was the first time watching this Dana White thing, and I was like, "Is this the fights we're going to get on here?" I mean, that was like going down the street and watching two guys fight in the bar. I mean, I was not impressed by any of these guys, pretty much.
We've seen much better talent, like the Shevchenko sister. She's fucking good, and you could tell she's good. Who else came off? Man, fucking that Hardy guy. He looks like he's got a lot of potential in him.
Okay.
The football player. And there's been a few other pretty good ones on the show. I think last season might have been better.
They gave away 3 contracts, and I would have been okay if they gave away 1 contract to Sadiq. I mean, the other 2 guys, you brought up the heavyweight, and there was a 205 guy. He kept getting hit too. I mean, if these guys are coming in saying they're Muay Thai strikers or kickboxers, why are they getting hit so much? That guy had a black eye. Both his eyes were busted up, man.
Fuck, man. Yeah, so who got the contracts? The heavyweight, Jeff Hughes, they gave him 1?
Hughes, Sadiq, and the guy from Australia, the 205 guy.
Okay. But didn't someone say that this guy's getting a developmental deal too?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Okay, so they're going to send him to LFA or something like that.
Something like that. But even the Australian guy, the guy he fought, he didn't look like that heavyweight that Hughes fought. I mean, out of shape and no athletic ability. I mean, I don't know, man. I was expecting more from this Dana White thing, but I was not impressed by the first episode here.
I think PFL really stole a bunch of talent that might have been making an appearance on Dana White's Contender Series. But do you want to step into Dana White's Contender Series and make 5 and 5 or whatever they're paying these guys, and no sponsorship money or whatever, or do you want to go to PFL, potentially win $1 million? Because you got fucking Steven Seidler over there with 12 points right now. That dude's in first place, and he's like a washout of the UFC,
Yeah, he had 2 impressive wins. The last one's controversial, but I think the odds in the first win was like 6-1. He was like a plus 600. And the last one, he was like 3-1 underdog. So good for that guy, man.
Yeah. Okay, I found a highlight here. And embroiled in an absolute war, Sadiq Yusuf, 7-1, outperforms Mike Davis over 15 minutes on the strength of cleaner boxing and a bevy of crippling low kicks. He was using the low calf kick, wasn't he? The Nigerian-American boosts a combined amateur and pro record of 13-1.
Yeah, he looked about himself and Usman and Adesanya, getting the car together and going to Africa. Man, they could do that, man. I don't know how popular fighting is in Africa, man, but if they wanted to headline the card with some guys, they got them now.
Fuck, dude. I don't think the UFC could pull off security for something like that.
I have no idea. I have no
They
idea.
can't even take Colby to Brazil. And Brazil's quote unquote, a first world nation or whatever. They have so many guys. It was Usman who came out and said that, right? Because he's like Israel Adesanya, Ngannou, and myself. We're all here. Let's take it out there. And then boom, right here, Sadiq. He can jump on that card, be on the Fight Pass prelims. Why not?
No, that's the co-main event, Dan.
Fuck. Oh man. Okay, on that note, real quick, we're hardcore fans, so it's kind of hard to judge this. But in the past, if you watched a performance that was super terrible, like the Black Beast in Ngannou, would that have kept you away from watching them in the future? Because someone was talking about how fucking he's done irreparable damage to his career, and they're talking about Ngannou. And then I think fucking RJ or someone jumped in right after that, and he's just like, nah, man, it's one fight, man. It's all about your latest fight. What have you done for me lately? You have one exciting performance, and everyone forgets about it.
I think if we were talking about somebody like a Tim Sylvia, that might be the case, but I don't think so, man. I mean, I'm a homer, Derek Lewis. Of course, I'm gonna watch him. So, but as far as Ngannou, I mean, to me that's what drew me to the sport. Stories, the backgrounds behind these guys, and I want to see how he bounces back. I mean, he can't get no worse than that, right? So let's see if he's gonna crack and be done, or let's see if he's gonna bounce back and kill somebody. I mean, that's what I like about the sport: the stories, the backstories, the lead up, the build up. That's what drew me to the sport, man. So I'm very interested to see how Ngannou and Derek bounce back from this.
Yeah, someone was saying that too. How it was the what the fuck is their name? There's some fairy tale or whatever about the girl who eats the porridge. First it was too hot, then it was too cold, and then it was just right. And so he got beat up by Stipe, and then he came in without like any offense. And so maybe next time he'll get it dialed in.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So then, what else did we got? I don't got many more topics. I do have this quote here from TJ Dillashaw talking about the rematch with Cody Garbrandt, UFC 227. He wasn't shy about saying what he thought, and he says that he claims he's going to ruin Cody Garbrandt's career at UFC 227.
Well, good luck.
That fight was super fucking close the first time, TJ. I'd be a little scared getting overconfident, man.
And according to Ali's manager, Cody didn't even train for that fight. So I don't know, man.
He didn't train because of his back issues, or what do you mean? I didn't hear that.
Yeah. He was on Ariel's show on Monday, and he said he was traveling back and forth a lot to Germany to get some treatment, and he didn't train too much for that fight. So, I mean, Ali has lied about many things before, but I kind of, we'll see. I mean, that's a solid fight. We'll see what happens. TJ is no world beater. I mean, how many times did he defend his belt? I mean, like once or twice or none, or I don't remember. But we'll see. Fight, man. I got one topic to bring up, but you continue what you're talking about.
Okay. Man, he almost got finished in round 1 of this last fight.
Yep.
He fucking stumbled over to the cage, which like helped him stand up, and then walked to his corner, or whatever the fuck happened. And you can see him obviously in this picture. He's got like the roid titties going on, or whatever the fuck's going on here, man. And you look at Cody's body; he looks pretty clean when it comes to that. And I mean, there's a lot of speculation on him on the juice or not. But I'm not saying USADA ain't doing shit these days, so who cares? Yeah, I'm actually excited for this rematch. I can't say the same about DJ versus Cejudo. Cejudo just won't fucking listen to Chael Sonnen, won't turn into the bad guy. He still tries to make himself out to be the good guy, and you can't do that against DJ. That's why no one fucking cares about him. But that's fuck. Who do you got in that, man? You think DJ the GOAT is gonna get it done?
I love DJ. I love DJ. I mean, he does whatever's asked of him. What can you do? I mean, there's things the UFC can do, but they just choose not to do it to promote this guy. I mean, we haven't heard a peep from this guy in, forever. I love DJ. I mean, I can't say nothing bad about DJ. He does his job. He don't pull all the fights. He stays clean. He's out of trouble. I mean, what else do you want him to do? I mean, he fights. You promote him. Like, come on, do your job. He's doing his job.
Oh, exactly. I don't know where along the lines the fighter ended up becoming like everything. He's the promoter, the fighter, the manager, the nutritionist. Like, he's got to be fucking everything. And Jesus, fucking take some responsibility, UFC, for goddamn sake. Right away, they took every single bit of personality that he had with Xbox and ripped it away from him. He goes and becomes fucking pretty much the biggest UFC star on Twitch and people that do like live stream on gaming, and they won't give him back Xbox, they won't give him back Alienware or anything, and they won't promote the fact that he's a fucking gamer. Like, there's such a huge fucking esports is huge. I hear that all the fucking time about how big esports is becoming, and they can't jump over to that angle and make that angle work. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, these guys fill up a stadium to watch people play games. I mean, I don't know who is going to this kind of stuff, but they fill up entire arenas watching people play video games. They get millions and millions of views on YouTube to watch people play video games. There's a market there, and the UFC just fails to touch into that market. I mean, they're just lazy to me, man. They're lazy.
So lazy. I mean, Dana White came out and outed himself already. He says basically this is his job in the UFC. I make the main events. I make 42 fights a year. I make a main event and that's it. Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, you guys handle the rest. And fucking, if you don't do what I say, Yair, we'll fucking fire your ass. Take the fucking fight I give you. All right, that's enough of that, though. Or you can respond, Joe, and then we'll go to your topic.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, you brought up USADA. Can you believe that John Jones has not been tested this year? Can you believe that?
What?
0. He has been tested 0 times in 2018. I'm all down for USADA. Get the bad guys out of here. Get the drug users. Retire those guys. You see them retiring already this year. How can you? It baffles my mind. I don't even know what to say. I mean, 0 tests in 2018 for John Jones.
I mean, it came down to the money, man. They're giving him $10 million and they're losing hella money. They pulled out Anderson out of that fight. Kelvin Gastelum got pulled because of weed. I don't know who's to blame for that, though. The commissioner in USADA. They got the envelopes, man. They got the envelopes, and that shit ain't going down no more. Brock's coming back. Jones is coming back. Silva's coming back. Nogueira's back. Fucking Machida was cleared. Who else? Josh Barnett was cleared. I mean, the fucking list goes on. And people who are busting for marijuana are getting the worst suspensions out of everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But that's not even the topic I wanted to bring up. Can I bring up this topic real quick?
Yes, yeah. Can I look it up anywhere? Or what are we talking about?
Yeah, MMA Junkie.
Okay.
Did you hear about a certain pop star yesterday almost dying?
I sure did. Why don't you tell the people?
So Demi Lovato, I love Demi. She's my BFF. Anyways, she's a big MMA fan. Okay, so she's dated MMA fighters, Luke Rockhold, a couple other guys. She's always at the events. Big MMA fan. Okay, She almost OD'd yesterday of heroin. So it's a sensitive subject. I mean, to me, it's a sensitive subject, you know. And then I love MMA Junkie. Those are my boys. Those are my dogs. I have their phone numbers on my phone. I love those guys. But how can you put this headline, this story up yesterday on the day that she almost dies? Can you explain that to me, Dan?
So you're talking about Emily Whitmer was on, or Whitmire was on MMA Junkie Radio yesterday, and today I came up and opened my Twitter, and they had a headline saying something about Demi Lovato. So she like fucking trains with her or something. Yeah, a headline that did not read Demi Lovato almost overdosed yesterday.
Yeah.
I know. I had tweeted something about that. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, a couple of my friends, you know, people you probably know that you would know, they texted me yesterday, like, what is going on? They need to change that headline. And I'm like, let me text a couple guys and see what's going on. And I didn't get a response. So I guess they're sticking with their headline. That just baffled my mind. Yeah, that was crazy, man. I really couldn't believe that they would put something like that up there on the day that she almost died. Is it up there still on Junkie?
Hold up, I'm trying to find it. They post a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna be
So it was yesterday. It would have been before Dana White's Contender Series, right? Oh, yeah. UFC fighter Emily Whitmore praises Demi Lovato's MMA skills and training.
Like, you know what? Whatever. You're gonna put the story up, put it up, but at least include what happened today. You know, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. I'm not a journalist. I'm ethical. I mean, it was tough, man. To get a headline, to get clicks, you know, whatever, man. It's not my job.
Your mic is jumping and making noises every once in a while. But anyways, man, yeah, what the fuck? This clickbait shit, dude, because it said 1.6K shares. It's the most shared thing that they've done, basically, over the past couple days or whatever. And I guess they got a couple of stories out of that Emily Whitmire. Yeah, this shit ain't right, man. Once you figure out about the ODing, adding an update in there would definitely be right.
I was they tweeted yesterday. Somebody texted me yesterday, told me about it, and it said Demi Lovato hits hard or something like that. And I was reading the comments to the tweet, the original tweet, and they're just making a joke about it. You know how freaking Twitter is, people making jokes about it, and it was just real poor taste, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was trying to dig down here for the comment section. I don't know if they still got that.
Shit, they might have turned them off.
Fucking, I would. I'd do that right away. Damn.
Right? Yeah, that was the only thing I had in my mind. That was the last thing I wanted to get it out there, man. That was crazy.
No, thanks for bringing that up, because that is MMA related, and people should definitely know. You know, we fucking...
I heard
doesn't matter how rich you are. Fucking shit happens to people, and they turn to substances, and they start abusing them, and fucking bad shit goes down.
Yeah, I heard the show this morning, and she probably talked about Demi Lovato for like 10 seconds. You know, and they want to put a story about it. But hey, that's the way it is these days, I guess, man.
Yeah, fucking clickbait.
How was Oregon, man? What you doing today? You gonna tweet a picture about you being on a lake today?
I believe I'm gonna take the Tahiti out on the river again. So I will give you a river photo. Definitely coming to you. It's
awesome.
The poor man's air conditioning. You don't need AC in your house. Just get out to the river. At least in Oregon, the rivers are cold.
That's what's up. We will. Johnson is an hour away, so yeah, maybe we'll go to the beach today.
Fucking A, man. That wouldn't be a bad day. Joe Daddy, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Man, you can follow me on Twitter at JoeDaddy85. I appreciate you letting me jump on, man. I was listening to you on the way home, and I had shit to say, so I appreciate you letting me jump on like this. So at JoeDaddy85 on Twitter, that's me. And man, I just like to talk and give my ideas. I call MMA Junkie Radio here and there, and they ban me here and there, so I can't call all the time.
We all know how it is, man.
I just like talking about MMA, man.
Somehow, I'm such a. Basically, this is what I figured out. On Sirius XM, besides Marco, I'm like the OG caller, and everyone can understand me. So Luke is never going to ban me on Twitter, no matter what I say to him, no matter any of that shit, because anybody else tweets him the shit that I tweet him, and they're fucking banned like 10 times over.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna text Marissa, and I'm going to ask her to ask Luke why he hasn't banned you. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go, man. Well, fucking A, that's the news for today. Thank you so much, Joe from HTown, for coming on the show. Everyone give him a follow, JoeDaddy85. And if you want to get on the show, you got shit to say, DM me, hit me up in the comment section down below. We can Skype, we can hang out. We'll figure this shit out. Dan got that diplomatic immunity on junkies. Nicely said, Steve. Well, until next time, back to you, sickos. We're out of here.